You know, the thing that gets me, we just finished the floors and yet nails, high risk for damaging the floor that we've just completed. And I spent all that time on my hands and knees. Don't even fucking get me started. So this weekend, my job is to focus on getting all these architraves and door frames filled and painted so we can hang the doors. Ugh, today is cursed. When I was setting this up, I said to Danny that this usually has like a little plate on the bottom so that when it goes through here and into the tube, there's a little plate that compresses evenly against this plastic part. And I couldn't find it, and I didn't want to fuck around and inconvenience Danny by trying to find one or an alternative solution. So then when I started squeezing, it just twisted this plate inside and just pushed it into the thing without actually explaining anything out the top. And now I've got to try and fucking figure that out.
Think we lost all, but who will take the fall? Who will win it all? You know the cost. Still, you go through walls, keep on acting small. Even if you got something left to lose, even if there is something left for you to prove, I got back.
He's the best.
Taste of hanging around you. I'm so sorry about the bitter end.
I'm a selfish kind of person.
This part of the door frame is really bloody testing me. So Danny had to rip down a strip like this to fit in this corner, but we couldn't really move the door frame any further to the right because it's in line with the hallway. So I'm trying to fill in between the wall and the rip line, but then not get it into the ripple. So I think what I've ended up having to do is I'm basically filling in the gap as much as I can, but it's causing some to go into the ripple and like a lot to go onto the wall. So I think I'm just gonna have to accept that and then try to come back and like try and like, I don't know what you call it, like scour in the middle of the ripple to try and get the excess out. It's all these little things that they don't teach you in YouTube University. Like you just see them sped up or they skip through to the end. It takes, it's so much time and effort to do all these little bits and pieces. I mean, it's worth it because in the end, it's going to be such a better product and I'll be so much more annoyed if I just left it and then it'd be more difficult to paint and all that kind of thing. But it's just right now I'm really peeved off with it. I'll show you the end. So you can probably, can you see? No, it doesn't show up very nicely, but it ended up getting quite a nice smooth line. Unfortunately, I couldn't get some of this off without taking the filling part out, so I'll just have to sand these tomorrow. So now we've got the toilet door, bedroom 2 door, and then that'll probably take us to the end of the day. I'm sure, I'm hoping, I hope.
I aim to break the laws of nature and learn to love before I die. I was naked then, I'm naked now, and my nakedness is my soul that counts. I'm unfaithful.
Okay, that's about it for today. Everything's looking pretty good. Danny's doing pretty well with the cornice. He is one length away from finishing. But we're gonna wrap it up there for the day. We'll see you tomorrow for Sunday. What you doing, Cinnamon? Everything's different every time you come up here. You want to go out? Meow. There you go. Jump. Oh, big jump. Big safety gap. You know, for a workplace health and safety officer, she doesn't seem too concerned about that gap. Oh, you didn't go far. Oh, we did a good little trick to protect our door. Sometimes it's the most simple solution, don't they say? Alright, I gotta protect my ears. Ear protection back in. Oh, finished doing this yet? Danny's already filled up the garbage bin with scraps from his work yesterday, so we're gonna have to wait another week. Maybe we'll just get a trailer. Oh, sorry.
Camped out on the porch, trying to work this out. Raining in my head, but my body is a drought. I'm in a hole, just
I'm coming on to fill these baseboards. And can you even, with this coping cut, look what he's done. Like, this is maybe the third or fourth time he's had a go at it. Look how beautiful that connection is. Yeah, that man is so talented just at learning something and trying. When you did those coping cuts, how much bad language did you have, or how did you find that experience?
Not too bad actually.
Yeah? Did you have to do them by hand?
Yes.
With that little
Coping saw.
coping saw?
Yeah.
Coping saw, I know which one that is. I don't know where it is though, on the side. Coping saw. So cute. Would you say it was a much better experience than having to try and do 245s on walls that aren't square?
Yeah, because they're never square.
Even though we're generally a Milwaukee household, there's still lots of tools that are good as a Ryobi.
Yeah, couldn't justify the price of a Milwaukee nail if the amount of times we're going to use it too.
Because my brother's renovating his house as well, and we've been borrowing their brad nailer for our whole renovation, and he's used it for all of his, and it's still going. And it's just that we're both doing trim work at the same time, and it's actually a really convenient tool to have around, so we thought it was worth investing in one.
Yeah, that's fun. This was $280 I think, and then Milwaukee's like $600.
Whoa.
So not twice the price, and we won't be using it that often once we finished the Reno, so just couldn't justify the extra $300 as much as we do like Milwaukee.
That would not have made it past the finance minister.
No.
Which is actually you anyway, so. All right, back to work.
stop the swing and find someone who knows how. I wish I had or could find a workaround. Later at the derby, the line of the cars.
All right, so I did learn this thingy about the, like putting the tape down, painting with the undercolor first, letting that dry, and then painting with the new color to get a nice crispy line. And as you can see, it did get a nice crispy line. However, not a good finish because I already had that caulk line there and a bit of like old paint and stuff. But I just wanted to do it to, I guess, practice the technique. I saw it on the Sorry Girls, and I think also Alexandra Gator. She says a crispy line, and it is very, very crispy. I'll have to do it again, the same thing again, to be able to do all the touch-ups on the caramel sundae side. But now that I was confident about that, or you can do the same here on the black. Behind the tape is going to stay white, but we're going to do this internal reveal in white. Did I say that right? Behind the tape is going to be black, and this internal reveal is going to be white. White. White cake. What could be wrong with white cake?
We will be serving white cake.
Also, trying to get a crispy line on an exterior edge is quite hard because it's kind of more rounded. At least on an inside edge, it's a little bit easier to get a straight line. But it is too late in the day to do that now because I would want to do the black, leave it for 2 hours, and then come in with the white. I'm not going to take any chances with a black paint mixing with my white paint and then messing up both sides of the paint, both sides of the reveal. But then that'll take us way past beer and dinner time. And on a Sunday night, I'm not about that. So for 20 minutes, I'm going to caulk and fill bedroom 3, the purple bedroom architrave. And then that's the last one. Can you believe what a man Daniel is that he managed to do all of those things with never having done them before? And he cleans up. Woman, what more could I ask for? All right, 15 minutes of work left and then we're done. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting pretty sick of doing all this prep work because there's, you don't see anything for a whole weekend's worth of work. But it has to be done because it'll annoy me. Because it'll annoy me for the rest of my life. All right, come back next week to see the nice crispy black and white line. She's gonna be delicious. Unfortunately, yes, that's exactly what I like. Is that a lot of work for you though?
Not really.
Ugh.
Crisis averted.
Beautiful. We're getting very, very close. Very, very close indeed.